Planting. Cool. Dobson, if we can start with you. We've got a couple of changes to the team. Obviously, quite exciting. Some players coming back in and strengthening our team. We've got Boogie, Dan Dup, Ivan and Joe are in, and then Leon Lyons up front. So anything we're strengthening and building, hopefully get another win.
Yeah, I think we took a gamble last week. The rest of guys give other guys opportunities, balancing act throughout the Currie Cup. We obviously been lucky, we do it well to win it in the circumstances, but hopefully I think it's probably the best team we can put out this week. So I'm quite excited to see.
Pumas are coming off a good win off against the Sharks last night. So they're always going to be tough, the Pumas. Expecting them to
play.
Oh, but they got the win.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. No, absolutely. I'm not being funny. Yeah, I mean, obviously, they're obviously fresher now and really the main focus. And, we've been into our advantage of that game by the head. But they're ahead of us now with those points they got from last night. You did right. So, in terms of getting our semi-finals, it's a very important game for
us. From your side, what do you think kind of vibe in the squad this week, how hard the guys worked, and what is the spirit in the camp like?
I must say the vibe is very good at the moment, especially after the good win last weekend. It was a tough game. I mean, it's a lot of stuff we had to work on come Tuesday, making sure that we tick our boxes, making sure that all our small details right for this weekend. It was always a tough game when we played them up there in Nelspruit, but it's important for us just to focus on ourselves now, making sure that we get the smaller detail right against what we lack against the Cheetahs. And we got another game at home, so it's important to get us the results leading up to the final stages of this tournament.
And the guys coming back in, injecting something new into the team. Guy like Boogie obviously is a quality player, but also the guys on the forwards as well. They're all good players coming in, so that must lift the spirits.
Yeah, exciting times for these guys coming back from injuries. You got a couple of guys coming back from injuries. Good to see Boogie back as well. He looks hungry when he got a chance last weekend. But there's other guys as well working hard in the squad. It's always going to be a squad effort when it comes to making sure when it comes to the final, semi-final, we do get into the playoffs that we need a proper squad and to be a nice, a good setup to make sure that we get the result and win a couple of them day.
Cool. All right, guys, over to you. If you've got questions for these two, shoot.
John, I'll start. It looks like it's a quiet room. What do you? I mean, we know that the Pumas are usually quite physical and stuff, but they like most other teams, they sometimes struggle with a bit of depth. What do you expect from them this week, seeing as they've had a bit of time off this week to recover?
Yeah, I mean, I think we saw in Nelspruit. I think you're right. They're a physical team. Their maul is very good. They've got 2 more tries, or players off mauls, a penalty try and a maul try against us in the game in Nelspruit, so we expect that to be a big part of their game. We know with Eddie Fisher and Devin Williams, really good kicking game, which could put us under pressure. Yet Devin's got a massive left foot. So we expect a pretty, as you suggest, pretty direct physical game. I'm not expecting them to try and run us off our feet like can happen in the low felt. I think this is going to be a bit more direct.
I think we've seen that. Sorry, I think we've seen that there's been quite a bit of open approach. Most of the teams seem to fancy a very expansive game in the Currie Cup. I mean, are you guys obviously leaning towards that as well?
Yeah, I think it's a different. You're right, Jan. It's a different Currie Cup to the one we had at the start of this year, the end of last year, where it was very much box kick based. We were 40-39. There's a 44 game last week. I tried it last night. I'm trying to watch how much is a product of how teams are playing and maybe put it a fence or whatever the story. But I think there is generally a willingness in this competition from all the teams to play more attractive rugby. I think it's important for rugby. It's certainly something that we're working on. I thought like in the second half last week, we really sort of started to find how we wanted to attack, even in the second half of Nelspruit. We're just going to do it more consistently. So I think there's generally a more exciting approach to the game in the Currie Cup.
Paul, you had a question?
Yeah, Jan basically took my question. But Dobbo, the defense, everybody's talking about defense and everything. With expecting the Pumas to play much more direct game, will you also concentrate, or would you rather try to run them off their feet?
No, I think one of the things that we try to vary in our attack is our ability to play direct as well as play wide. And I think we haven't always got that balance right. I think we've been a bit struggling with Sergio was a stopgap fullback. And if you only got one sort of first receiver, like I think I said last week, it does make your attack a bit more predictable. So to have Warwick back is allows us to attack both sides. But I think we want to try and blend it. I think we've got some success at Nelspruit trying to go through the middle. Evan Roos's try, one example, there was another one, Andre, who's got Fenton set up. We want to try, but I think probably for us, our biggest emphasis this week will be not to concede the points that we did last week. I think we weren't happy with our tackle technique, and then we had to make some system errors defensively. And I think, we can be in the league stages up in Bloom, have a game like 44, all of that, but I think we all know come Currie Cup semi-final and final, defense is going to have much more of a role, so we need to be sharper there. That's probably our main focus this week.
Well, you've partly answered the question I'm about to ask, but how big a boost is it to have a specialist fullback in the team? I mean, it's almost one can't help but feel sorry for coaches to play without a fullback. And how big a boost in that fullback is Warwick Geland?
No, it's a seismic thing for us. Even you saw last week there was a guy who hadn't played 9 months who took that. I don't know if you remember. I think it was Rickers got the run in. I think we almost scored when he took the ball through and put that pass behind the back of the defender. The big thing for us is, like I suggested in the last question, Steve is having 2 first receivers, and Sergio's an out-and-out striker. He's done very well for us at fullback, but he's a striker. He's not a playmaker, and to tackle, like I said before, every team, the Springboks with Billy LaRue and Pollard, the All Blacks with Barrett and Jongh, Australia, almost English have got 2 first receivers in, whether they play Ford or Farrell, whatever they want to structure it. So we missed that. So having back, and also he's just got real X factor. To me, Warwick in form is one of the best attacking fullbacks in the world. So to have him back is really great for us.
Is the captaincy just a temporary thing while Ernst is on the bench?
Listen, we've got a plan. We've got 3 games in 8 days. Fixtures will go ahead. So we're playing Sunday, Wednesday, Sunday. So we can't expect Ernst or Juba to lead us in each and every minute of every game. So we worked out a plan for the 3 in 8 days, and that's Ernst is one of the benches this week. That's the only thing. So that's explained to him about the plan.
Leeton, you had a question.
Yes, thank you, Mikey. Dobbo, just on the team play, a bit of worry defensive-wise. We've seen how things have gone in the Currie Cup. Is that going to be a big? You've spoken about maybe focusing more on getting Warwick into the game and other guys who can break up the game, but defensive-wise, how big of an emphasis will this week's game be on that?
No, look, I think it's going to be a really big emphasis for us. And Warwick is a really good communicator at 15. So that'll help us system-wise. It doesn't excuse some of the individual tackles we missed last week. You saw in their first try, for example. So it's a big point for us. I think I'm not too concerned about the points conceded, because I think some teams have got 4 or 5 draws. All these cancelled games are regarded as 0-0. We've played every single game. So we're going to concede points by just running on the field. Obviously, something like 39 last week is way below our standard. So that is a major focus for us this week. We pride ourselves on our defence of this union for, Jongh was a youngster. 39 points isn't good against the Cheetahs. So it is a major focus for us. And like I suggest, Currie Cup semi-finals and finals tend not to be 44 all. So we have to get sharper there.
Dobson, and the last time you played the Pumas, you just didn't give them time really to get into the game, and I think basically playing against a team like the Pumas, you have to do that from the start, because we've seen the other games they played against the other unions. When they got going, there was just no stopping them. Is it going to be the same of Nelspruit this weekend at New?
Look, I completely agree with you. If you get ahead of them, you can. It's a much easier afternoon. It's just not easy. It's obviously easier said than done. our plan is to play with massive intensity. I don't think we've produced an 80-minute performance where we've been both intense and sort of clinical. We've had moments of both, but I think the key with the Pumas, Newlands isn't a field like Nelspruit where you can score sort of high speed, long distance, opened up tries game and opened up. It's a much more of a dogfight, which will probably so that we have to be aware that we have to try and extricate ourselves from that as soon as possible. As I said, much easier said than done against the Pumas.
And just on the scrums and the mauls, the last time Jimmy said they're gonna take you on scrum and maul wise, and you just completely disrupted them, and and they couldn't get going. How good was that, and how much of a factor do you think that will play this weekend to from the start not have them get their maul going?
Yeah, look, their maul is very good, and it's obviously something we've worked on this whole week. I think our maul defense got better. The Bulls, we handled the Bulls maul reasonably well. Cheetahs didn't maul us last week, maul us last week. So I'm pleased with how our defense is going. Obviously, our attacking maul I'm very happy with. I think what I'm enjoying about our scrum, and obviously there's a lot of kids off of Maherba hype in this union, and to see a guy like Sazi or Leon Lyons or Dion Bula or Nicolas Bashir scrumming like they are now means we're building a scrum culture. So we're really looking forward to the scrums on Sunday. It's a big part of our plans for the weekend.
Juan, you're a guy that's really renowned for your defense over the years and the leadership that you bring in that regard. How do you think that you guys can tighten it up a little bit?
No, I must say, defense, we took a lot of pride in our defense. Like I just said now, it's something that built up throughout the years. I mean, last weekend, the Cheetahs scoring 4 tries is unacceptable. It's not what we stand for. So it's important for us to have a good start. When we played the Pumas up in Nelspruit as well, we were lucky. They almost got a try with Jada on the one win, and that could have put us on the back foot. So it's important for us to get a good start, especially on defense as well, making sure that we keep them up, but also scoring a couple of tries. And we can do that to put them under pressure. And they're a team that you need to make sure that you start good to make sure that you don't give them opportunity to get into the game. So yeah, we've worked a lot throughout. We got an extra day this week, so we worked a lot on our defense and our attack as well to make sure that when it comes to this weekend, we start well and put some pressure onto them. They've got some good runners, Engelbrecht and especially a couple of guys in the back line as well. Once they get to front football, it's going to be tough at the office, but we need to make sure that we focus on ourselves. We've got a couple of guys coming back now, so it's about making sure that we're working on our mini units, the nines, making sure that we control our forwards, the centers controlling the back line and getting the forwards into the game. So it's an overall game. So we just want to make sure that we tick those boxes and we keep moving forward, especially in the current start of this competition.
You've been involved in playoff games and critical periods, moments in games, and this is a big game. I mean, in the context of your campaign potentially. I mean, how would you what would you say to the players before a game like this?
100%. When it comes to this time, if you look at it a lot as well, I mean, every game is important now for us. We had a massive win last weekend over the Cheetahs, and it's a good good stepping stone for us to keep the ball rolling. We've got 2 home games, and we might need to make sure that we focus on those 2 and getting the results as well. And when it comes to Crickers and Sharks away, that's also two games we need to target just to make sure that in this competition, if you look at it a lot. I mean, from second to number 6 or 7, it's like 4 to 2 points. So everyone is very important. And I mean, like the Pumas got a couple of points and lost with the cancelled match. So that puts a lot of pressure onto us to making sure that we do have to get the result. But yeah, it's something we're not going to focus on. We got to focus on making sure that the process is in place. And if the process is in place, we're going to get the result. So coming for this weekend as well, with the extra day, we're working hard on our defense, we're working hard in all our set phases, even our kicking game as well, because we need to save energy in all departments on the field. And for us as a senior group, I mean, we've got leadership in the group, we've got Aaron's on the bench, we've got Brandas as well. There's a lot of leadership around us, but we need to make sure as individuals that we bring our A game, because our A game is very important to make sure that we bring our A game into our technical detail, and then that will make sure that we get the result, and it's a very important game for us.
Cool. Any other questions?
Yes, just here, Mikey. Yeah. Jubs, just on that attacking game, how great is it to have Warwick back, someone who can link up with you and Dan Dupe in the centers as first receiver or outside of you, and how forward are you looking to play alongside someone like him with a guy like Siabelo and then Edwell on your outside?
Yeah, I must say it's exciting time for all of us. I mean, to have him back, he's an experienced player. He's played for Springboks, he's played on high levels. But for us, like I said, we got so much X factor in our team, especially our backline. We got to work as a unit. It's nothing big.
I'm good, thanks. Sorry, sir. Yeah, there's no MC, so we can't go out. Oh, it's
Sorry, guys. Is that a question? Adnan, you're right there.
Adnan, that I didn't get the last of Jubs there now.
Maybe he's on the plane back from Tokyo today, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, just to finish on that quickly. Yeah, like I said, it's a unit thing. We got some great individuals, but really as a backline, we need to make sure that we gel together, work together. We're excited to have him back. So that's why we've been working so hard, making sure we gel as a team, because it's important for us as a backline to get in behind them, making sure that make an easy job for our forwards around the corner and getting on top of their forwards. But I mean, our forwards have been working hard. You know, they've been putting in the shift in our walls and our defense and our scrums as well. So as a backline, we need to respect the ball, getting behind them, and making it an easy day for our forwards. So as the week goes on, we need to make sure that we keep working, keep linking, combine as a unit, and hopefully when we get that together, we can have a good performance as a backline and get in behind them.
Cool. All right. So final question, Adnan. Have you got something there?
Yes, Mikey, sorry, man. I've been going through customs while listening to you.
I knew you were on the plane back from Tokyo. I called it.
That's why I love. I mean, that's how much passion I have for Western Province. While going through customs, I'm listening to the presser, and I just want to say hi to the guys, Dobbo and to Juan. Nice hearing your voices again. Be it you know, just landing is nice to hear South African voice again. Just on for Juan, the question for Juan, 2016, you were part of the Olympic Games. This is not totally unrelated. I just wanted to hear his thoughts. That one, the team had won bronze in Rio. This time around, I was literally with the team, and they faced a lot of challenges. I know you're unable to comment about that, but just the thought of, or just about the things that you heard, the feedback from the Siemens guys, how difficult it was, especially with the coach not being there and so on.
Yeah, I must say I was really gutted for the boys. We were all behind the boys, especially the guys from 2016. We created some, WhatsApp groups just to stay get behind the guys. Created some videos just to motivate them and give them some positive messages for this tournament. And it was a tough one. I mean, I've spoken to a couple of the guys. I've spoken to Rio and Jan as well. I mean, the COVID and to feel the whole experience from the COVID point of view was very tough for them. The last time when I was there, it was a whole environment. You can see the other athletes. You can enjoy the whole occasion. But it's a tough one this side around, and it's always a tough challenge when it comes to Olympics and Tokyo as well. And meaning that there's so much people, so much players, so much teams that want to go out there and go get this medals. And I feel gutted for the boys, but I must say I've been there so long for a long time, and the work that Neil Powell and Redford Dazer has put in, that's unbelievable. And those boys, I mean, the hard work they put in the past 4 years, just not good to see. But hopefully the guys will get strong. Hopefully the guys will get opportunities in the Currie Cup and in the Springboks and wherever they go. And just keep going, keep motivating themselves. And hopefully the next 3 years now, they can get the result.
Just want to check something, Mike.
All right, so we got Stephen. Yeah.
Sorry, just want to check before you guys go. Ruan Nell, is he just integrating into the setup still?
He was last week. He rolled his ankle moving some furniture on the weekend. So he's a bit ginger. He couldn't really train earlier this week, so he'll be in the frame for Wednesday. We didn't really consider him a selection this week.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for talking to us.
Yeah.
Stephen, did anybody answer Ayanda's question on the message board?
I didn't see any question on the message board. Hold on, there it is.
And he asked the question to Juan, to leading the team once again back
Back
at
at
Newlands.
Newlands.
What does that mean for you?
Yeah, I must say it's always a privilege for me. I mean, ever since I understand the game and supported the rugby, I wanted to be a Stormer, and to lead this team is something special for me. I mean, I had the opportunity to come back and get an opportunity to lead the team against the Bulls, and that was special. And especially in this competition, especially where we stand with the stadium and the history of it, you gotta take every second, every match as your last. So I've got opportunity again to lead this team. But with that comes a massive responsibility, and that responsibility is to make sure that I get the guys in the right frame of mind for this weekend, and I make them understand how special it is, make them understand what it is to be a province player, and make them understand how crucial it is to get a victory and get into those playoffs and lifting the cup when it comes to the final. So I'm really excited. I've got all the backing from staff. I've got backing from the senior players like Aarons and Dion, and some of the senior players. And I mean, it's an easy job with those guys behind me. So for me, I just want to enjoy my game personally, and making sure that we as a group can just keep all leading up to the playoffs.
Mikey, sorry, if I may, I just wanted to ask one similar question, just briefly in Afrikaans, just for him to be leading up. Juan, net die feit dat jy nou die span weer op Nieuweland gaan uitlei, hoe voel, nie op Nieuweland nie, maar op Kaapstad Stadion en voor gaan draf vir die span?
Dis 'n groot eer vir my, soos ek sê, ek bedoel, elke geleentheid in die try is 'n groot eer vir my, en om die span uit te lei is nog 'n groot eer. Ek weet nie of dit kan dalk die laaste keer wees op Nieuweland, so ek moet elke geleentheid maak as ek die laaste is. So ek sien baie uit om die span te lei hierdie wedstryd teen die Pumas. Ek bedoel, is 'n groot wedstryd vir ons. As nog 4 wedstryde voor ons na die playoffs toe gaan. Dit is belangrik dat ons elke wedstryd vat as dit ons laaste is, vir alles die een op Nieuweland. So ja, maar dit kom by die naweek is 'n groot een vir my, wat met die ondersteuning van die staf en die ondersteuning van die senior players, maar dit soveel makliker vir my. So ja, ek moet seker maak, first things first, dat ek in goeie shape bly, in goeie shape, hard werk op die veld, wanneer ek 'n geleentheid kry, maar met die backing van al die ander spelers, dit maak dit baie makliker vir my om te doen.
Baie dankie.
Are we done? Adnan, good luck getting through customs, mate.
Yeah, I didn't even know the guys are playing at
We'll see you on Sunday at Newlands. The rest of you are going to be from home. Lekker.
Yeah. See you guys. Bye-bye.
Yes.
Thanks, Chaps.
Guys, thank you.